Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, then welcome. My name is Kamani Alana and I'm just gonna jump right into this video. I am going into the Huda, they call it the new nude palette. Okay, so basically let's open this up and just see what she has in here for us. Gorgeous colors, I'm not gonna lie. So there's basically 18 pans in all in this eyeshadow palette, and then you basically have 10 matte colors. Then you have 2 pressed glitters here. You have 4 reflect colors here as well. You have 1 here that's a pearl color, and then you have your concealer here. So it's unique because it is coming with a concealer. We're gonna test that out and see how that works, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm used to like nude being more like warm colors, browns, very taupey nudes, but with this palette, I guess they're calling it the new nude. So we'll see how this goes. Basically, this palette is pretty much a lot of pinks, a lot of purples, and glitters and shines in this one. So let's just play around with it. I usually don't start my videos off with like full makeup, but today we're just gonna do that because I'm just, you know, pretty much reviewing this shadow palette. But I mean, as far as the packaging so far, it's beautiful packaging. It feels really sturdy, so it doesn't feel like all of, you know, your shadows are gonna break in the pan. It has weight to it for sure, so it doesn't feel like flimsy. They packaged it right. The coloring on this, you know, beautiful, and it all just kind of like flows. And as you can see the iridescent colors change when you're going into, you know, the word nude there. Gorgeous. So let's get started. Let's just play around in here. I have not touched the eyeshadows yet, but I just want to start playing around with let's just play around with these colors and just see what we come up with today. So for my skin tone, I think I want to start off with this color here, Teddy. It's like a really soft brown. Ooh, I see there's fallout though. Maybe I just tapped it too hard, so let's just, honey, let me just see what happens. Ooh. So I'm just gonna come into my crease here. I'm just gonna use this as my transition color. Let's just see, it's a soft, kind of mauve-y. It's definitely a pink, mauve pink color going on here. I'm just gonna tap. So I'm gonna tap lighter into that Teddy now just to see, maybe I went too hard. Maybe I didn't need to go so hard. Okay, so I just didn't need to go so hard. Okay, got it. I'm gonna come and push into my brow bone here just to pull it up. And then I'm gonna go a little bit darker in my crease in just a minute, but I like this color actually. I just kind of wanna come in and soften my eye up here. And okay, so the fallout isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was just me pressing too hard. Now that I'm going in on the other eye and I'm working with this eyeshadow a little bit better, it's working a lot better here. I think the next color I'm gonna go in with is this raw color. I still wanna work on my transition color and start building it up. So let's go in with raw here. And raw, I'm just gonna pull in, see if it's darkening it up a little bit, which it is. I like that. And I'm just building up my transition, so I'm just placing the shadow the same that I was placing Teddy, because I'm trying to really use this palette and really use the colors and just see how they work together. It's moving really nicely. I will say that they are buttery. I love when a matte color is buttery, because trust me, when they're chalky and they're dry, honey, no bueno, okay? They don't work. Now I'm gonna take my angle crease brush by MAC, and I'm gonna actually go into Spanked, and I'm lightly tapping it because I see I came in a little too rough the first time. I mean, sometimes I like it rough. And now I'm just gonna pull in just in my crease right here. I just wanna see how that looks. Sometimes on my skin tone, some things can show up really darker than what they are, and then sometimes they don't. So I'm just kind of seeing like what this Spanked is trying to give me in life, and I'm just staying right here in my crease here. I mean, Spanked is definitely a pretty color, but I'm gonna need something else to show up a little bit more on my skin tone here. So we're gonna go in with this color. This is in Love Bite, and again, I'm just barely tapping it. Okay, that's what I needed. See how there's color in this one, honey? Because I'm like, girl, give me some definition in these creases. I'm gonna go into the other eye as well, and then I'm gonna come back in and blend. I'm just blending both eyes out now with that Love Bite, which was the deepest color in the entire palette. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in with a cut crease because really I wanna try maybe some of the pressed glitters or the reflex here. So I'm gonna come in to this concealer. I don't know the texture of it yet. We about to find out. Yeah, let's just find out. Let's just try it. Let's see what happens. So I'm basically gonna take my baby straight flat brush by Makeup Forever, and I'm just gonna come in here. I'm just trying to see if I have to push hard into it or if I barely touch it. It looks like to get a little more product, I gotta like really dip my brush in there. And let's just see what we've got here. Let's see what the texture is on this one. With this one, it looks like it's probably gonna give you a soft pop because it's not a really thick, opaque type of concealer. I mean, which can be nice if you don't want it to be, but if you're like, I need my shadow like boom popping like to the gods, honey, you may have to go with something a little more opaque or maybe like a lid primer. Honestly, what I do like about the concealer, I mean, for me, I just like things that are creamy, period. So I see why this concealer is very creamy. It's probably like medium, light medium coverage here. And I see why it is because it looks like it may work with the shadows. Let me see. I think what I want to start with is maybe this color. This is in, I want to say Fantasy. So let's just see what type of pigmentation this has on it right quick. So I'm going in with Fantasy. I'm just seeing how the product adheres to my fluffy flat foundation brush by MAC. And let's just see if the product like really adheres to this concealer. It's a very soft, it's very, very nice. I mean, it's definitely reflective. Oh, that's pretty. What I do like about it is that it is definitely meshing in with the concealer and it still gives it that really high shine but soft look at the same time. Because sometimes you don't need your like eyeshadow on high beam, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you need to bring it down a notch. I am gonna go back in with that concealer and we're just gonna do this other eye here. It's definitely, again, this is definitely a creamy texture. It's looking really pretty though. And I'm just tapping into, again, Fantasy. And I'm just tapping into it several times just because I don't want a lot of fallout on my face here. Not that there's really any fallout. Like you can really see here, there's not a lot of fallout. So if you can see me tapping it, there's not a lot of fallout. Like I'm actually really impressed by that. Because usually with these type of shadows, because they are chunks of reflex in there, you usually may get a lot of fallout. And then it may go on your eye pretty chunky. But with this one, it's working really, really well, actually. You know what? I'm just gonna add some dimension right in the middle here. Though this is such a pretty color, I just feel like I wanna try something else just to like heighten it. So actually, I'm gonna come in with the color Crave here. So I'm just gonna go right in the middle. And yeah, and I already see, if you guys can see the difference, it just made it pop a little bit more, you know? Ain't nothing wrong with a pop, okay? I'm gonna go back in and just add a little bit more dimension into my crease here. So I'm gonna go back in with Love Bite, which is the darkest color again in this palette. And when I say you barely have to touch these shadows, I'm not kidding, because if you go too hard, that's when you start to get the kickback. Just gonna go back in with my Kevyn Aucoin brush, just lightly, basically pulling out the shadow a little bit, softening it up, and then blend, blend, blend. Y'all know, y'all already know. I think also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight right under my brow here. Let's try Play first. I'm gonna go under my brow bone with that really quickly. Just to highlight. Yeah, that's better. I'm just highlighting. Now this is a matte color. Play is matte. You know what? I'm gonna go back in with Spanked here. And this is my Angle Fluffy Shadow Brush. And I'm just gonna swipe under my eye here. I think I'm gonna go back into Love Bite, which was the darkest color in the palette. And I'm just gonna bring it in here too as well. And then we're gonna do Spanked again on this side. And then going back in with Love Bite, the darkest color. What a beautiful smoke, right? I mean, it's turning out really lovely. So I feel like I need something in the corner of my eyes. So let me see, how about we try to go in with Infatuated, which is this little mama right here. Oh boy. Now that's a glitter, all right, honey. Oh, why not? Hey, we're playing with the glitters. Just gonna put a little bit more in the corner on my lid here. Just gonna take a bullet brush and just, a bigger bullet brush, shall I say, and just kind of wipe off any excess that's just like hanging on if the glitter's not adhering to my skin. Just to add a little bit more to it because it was like too glittery for me, I'm just going back in with the Reflect color that I used on my lid, the first color in Fantasy, just to add a little something to that glitter because there was just like really like no underlying like color or base to this glitter. That's why it was coming off a little blotchy for me, which I was not feeling. You know, a purple liner or like a really deep mauve color would be great for this. But we're just gonna go in with Dose of Colors. This is in Shady and it's just a straight black for today. I'm just gonna go in and hug my lash line real quick with just, sometimes you just place the brush in there and you just wiggle it just a little bit and then you place in the next section so you can get your line together, you know? And I'm just gonna do like a little bit of a baby line. I'm gonna keep it just kind of soft. I'm not gonna go too hard in the paint today because this shadow is just so pretty that I just wanna keep the integrity of the smoke. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my MAC eyeliner, and this one is in Smolder, so it's like a really soft black coal. So I kind of want to stick with pretty much like the smoky look. So with this color, if I want to smoke it out a little bit more, or how I say smudge my liner, I can do that. I'm gonna go in with a MAC bullet brush, and I'm just gonna smudge her out a little bit, just to bring the liner down into the lash line here. Okay, I'm just gonna put a light coat of mascara on because then we're gonna put lashes on. You know how we do. Just gonna put a light coat at the top. And this is my Kush mascara by Milk Makeup. So now I'm gonna go in with Lily lashes, and these are in this set So Extra Miami. All right, let's go ahead and place this lash real quick. I don't know who this lash doesn't look good on. I'm gonna just be honest, like, and if it's too extra, then even Miami is good. I mean, I'm just extra period, so that's how I do, but just saying. You know what, keeping with this pinky purple nude theme, I'm gonna go in with the blush, but I'm gonna go in with MAC, and I'm gonna go into Tomfoolery. I'm gonna go in with Plum Foolery. It has a bit of a shimmer to it. Let me grab this brush real quick. Child, somebody catch me. Clearly, I use this blush, honey, because y'all see the whole, all up in there. That means you use your product. So we're gonna keep the lip like nude mauve color, but just still in the nude theme that we have going on. So I'm gonna go in with my Kevyn Aucoin. It's the Flesh Tone Lip Pencil, and this one's in the color Minimal. So now we're gonna go with my CoverGirl lipstick. It's in a lip cream, and this color is in Honey Bloomed. So what do you guys think of the look so far? I mean, I think it's extra gorgeous. I mean, it's definitely nude in the pinks and purples category for sure. To sum it all up for this palette for me, all of the mattes that I work with, which I know they all have the same formula, were just really excellent. They all just really worked really well together. They layered well together, and they really are just really soft. There wasn't a lot of fallout. You just barely tap it and your color comes off on the brush. It's super pigmented, which is great, which is wonderful about these. And then, you know, they're just really creamy shadows, which that's what I love in a shadow. Make it creamy. I hate when they're dry, they crack, they just look crazy on my eyes. I'm sure for a lot of women, a lot of men, it does. So for you girls that are looking for the pinky and purples, this is probably a good one-stop shop for you. Instead of buying individual ones, this would be a really good one that you can really play around with. It has your really basic basic purples, and it is sort of like a nude pink. Nude pinks and purples, the nude version of pinks and purples. I wouldn't say this is just the overall, the new nude period in life, but I would say for the color category it's in, absolutely. So this would be like a good one-stop shop. Another thing that I really liked about this palette too is that it has the big mirror, so I was able to work really, really well with it. And then also what I did notice and I really like about it, it's simple. It may not be a lot for other people, but it is for me. It has the names on the front under each eyeshadow. And I know I said that really drawn out, but it just helps so much. Instead of every time like you're looking at an eyeshadow and then you got to do all this and then turn it over and figure out the name of it. Like, I like that part about it. Like I said, the packaging is beautiful. It's constructed really, really well. So, I mean, obviously any palette that you travel with, you just want to make sure you pack it really, really well. Like for me, I don't even go on a plane with it, meaning I don't check my bags with that. Any bag that I have my makeup in, I actually bring it on board with me, just period. But this one is constructed really, really well. It doesn't look like it's gonna fall apart on you. It doesn't feel like it. It has the weight to it. But overall, if you're looking for your pinks and purples, this is a really, really great palette. She did a really good job with it. So, I mean, really A+ with this particular palette. So if you're looking for your pinks and your purples and you just need it all kind of in one and it's your basic nude pinks and purples, then this palette makes sense. So that pretty much sums it up for this palette. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and subscribe as well and push the notification button so you never miss a video by me again. And until next time, peace and love, queens. Mwah.